Hey guys, CreamCrazy here. Welcome to my Summerslam 2012 results, views and opinions video. Now, this pay-per-view went and came out a lot better than I expected it to. And that's something amazing. And I've got a little bit of a spoiler for you. There were no 0 rated matches. There were none. First time this year, no matches were rated lower. Actually, in fact, I'll tell you this fact. None of the matches tonight were lower than 3/4 of a star. And that makes me happy. In fact, one of the reasons why this event is the highest rated of the year so far. And that is a good sign, don't you think? And now that your appetite for this pay-per-view get a bit more, let's get on with the review then, shall we? First off, Chris Jericho defeated Dolph Ziggler in what was a good match. And I'll tell you now, the crowd is hot for Y2J, but there were chants for both men. I did not expect this match to start off the night, and in all fairness, I'm now looking back on it, it really should have started the night, because it's a good way to get the crowd going, as every card should have a match like that, you know? Anyway, Jericho and Ziggler run around the ring at each other. Ziggler then eats elbow back in the ring. Corner springboard clothesline and punches by Jericho. Chop to the chest, gets Ziggler down. It's all Jericho early on, and I actually had a bad feeling that this match was going to be Jericho, and he'd basically bury the guy. Didn't happen. Kick to the ribs and gutbuster by Ziggler to go right for the injured body part straight away at his first attack that he could. And of course, there was a clip showing that Ziggler had beaten up Jericho on SmackDown the week before, well, 2 days before, and the ribs were still taped. So I thought, ooh, good way to go with the psychology element here, fantastic. Knee to the back, and then a cover for 2. Jericho goes for a springboard dropkick, then flies straight out of the ring as Ziggler ducks it. Covers for 2 in the ring. Ziggler berates Jericho that he can't hang with him. Dropkick to the ribs, covers for 2. Grand abdominal stretch by Ziggler again takes the chest to pain central. A giant leaping clothesline by Ziggler, cover again for 2. Neck breaker and taunting cover for 2. And I've got to say at this point, I'm chanting out to my computer screen, and I'm saying, come on, hit more than one move on the guy before you bloody well pin him, because there's no way. I often have a major issue with WWE pay-per-views doing this, as you know, because it takes more than one move to pin a guy. You know it. Roll up by Jericho off the Irish Whip for 2. A top rope clothesline by Jericho, but Ziggler hits back. I believe it was a famous, sir. I don't know if it was. Get back to me on that. Gets 2. Walls countered by Ziggler, but then Jericho whacks him with an enziguri. Then he covers for 2. Ziggler locks in a sleeper hold. Jericho fights out. Ziggler then goes back to the ribs. Chopped by Jericho as both men are on the top rope. Hurricane Rana! After 10 punches by Jericho. Nice! Jericho is still selling those ribs well after landing it. Nicely done, man. You definitely are a treasure to your craft. No wonder you're number 8 on my 10 greatest of all time, because Jericho, you are awesome. Oh, where the fuck am I now? Ah, here we go. Jericho then covers, then gets 2. Running bulldog by Jericho. Lion Salt is encountered superbly with the knees to the ribs there. A zigzag. We think Dolph Ziggler's won this thing, but no. Chris Jericho kicks out. Both men are up. Codebreaker! But Ziggler then rolls out of the ring. Vicky holds onto Jericho's legs, roll up for the 2. Ziggler goes into the post. Jericho then locks in the walls, or, well, it was actually a lion tamer, to be perfectly frank. And Ziggler taps. I honestly didn't expect Ziggler to tap, but Jericho wins. Ziggler looked quite strong in that, I feel. Yeah, Ziggler looked quite strong. I'm happy with that. And I'm not going to reveal my rating, even though you know it down there in the description section, because you know how my reviews work now. I sum up the matches at the end of the review. Next, shocking, because I predicted the other way on this. I got it wrong. I got this wrong. I had a feeling WWE were going to go the way I predicted, but they didn't. Curveball sent my way. It knocked me senseless, because Daniel Bryan beat Kane. Yeah, you heard me. Daniel Bryan defeated Kane. Yeah. Never mind. Laura knows whenever Bryan just attempted to slowly kick Kane at the start of the match. He goes for the knees with kicks, but then Kane goes right at him. Springboard, but then Kane hits a power slam off it for 2. Massive boot by Kane, again gets 2. Bryan goes right at the knee with a low drop kick and more low kicks. Kane throws him right out of the ring. A slightly botched suicide dive by Bryan, and I mean slightly botched because he went slightly too high and barely made any contact with the head of Kane. Drop kick from the top rope for Bryan gets 2. Yes chants by the crowd, and Bryan is milking it for the response. He's just going, oh God, I'm so angry. What are you guys saying yes? I'm going to bash this guy's head in. And I loved it. Massive chop by Kane gets Bryan down. Clothesline in the corner compounds his dominance. Side slam covers for 2. Clothesline from the top rope by Kane. Choke slam is then set up, but Bryan counters and weasels out to the apron. Bryan then gets out of the apron and runs into an uppercut. Bam! You got slapped in the face. Bryan then gets up, and speaking of slaps in the face, he slaps Kane right there. Right on the button. And Kane beats him down in the corner ferociously, and well, the ref nearly disqualifies him. Great stuff. Bryan then drop toe holds him into the bottom turnbuckle and kicks the head hard. Bryan goes for the no lock. Kane powers out of it. Low roundhouse to the head by Bryan. Bryan ups to the top. Hits the headbutt. Yeah, he actually hit the headbutt for the first time on pay-per-view that I can remember. But wait, he's caught in the damn chokeslam hold. Bam! Kane hits the chokeslam. Tombstone attempt by Bryan. He then rolls him through into his... well, no, not by Bryan. A tombstone attempt on Bryan, I should actually say. But then Bryan rolls up. 1, 2, 3. Small package gets the win. Daniel Bryan has beaten Kane. And I still can't believe they did it. I honestly cannot believe that they did that. I honestly cannot believe that. Because it was just... okay, the way it went about was a good way of doing it, because at least it wasn't a clean victory, and for a heel, it makes perfect sense. But honestly, who saw this coming? Because honestly, I didn't see it coming. Good to see Bryan winning that, really. Next, The Miz defeated Rey Mysterio to retain the WWE Intercontinental Championship, and as you can tell, I was jumping around the room when that result came in, because my first prediction of the night correct. Also because Rey Mysterio lost clean to The Miz, and that made me very, very pleased. Anyway, a flip and jackknife cover by Rey for 2, kicking off the match after some tie-ups. Miz throws Mysterio out of the ring. Mysterio is standing up because he rolled through and to avoid any damage. Nice. Bulldog attempt by Mysterio on the outside, countered as he goes gut first into the barricade. Cover back in the ring for 1. Backdrop counter by Mysterio for 2. Head scissors countered into a high angle rib breaker for 2. Ground punches by Miz, followed by a kick to the head. Off the run, Miz hits a massive clothesline for covering for 2. Miz taunts the crowd, hits his patented corner clothesline. Mysterio, though, hits Miz into the turnbuckle at the top rope. Rey then hits a Cena senton. Mysterio goes for another, but Miz springboards Mysterio off the top rope and hits a sit-down powerbomb for 2. Roll up by Mysterio gets 2, and then a kick to the head after that gets 2. Front power slam counted into a DDT by Mysterio for 2. Miz is somehow powering out of this. Miz then goes for a superplex actually. Miz then knocked off. Rey hits a head scissors and then goes round, hits a 619. Ready to drop the dime, it's then countered. Miz then goes for a skull-crushing finale. That's countered into a roll-up. 1, 2, Miz kicks out. Miz pushes Rey into the top turnbuckle. Skull-crushing finale. 1, 2, 3. Easy, and it's easier said than done. Miz won, and to be honest, I enjoyed this match, so I'll wait till you get down to the overall review of the match. You'll see why I enjoyed this match. Also, funny little thing, when Mysterio goes into the top turnbuckle before the skull-crushing finale, he does a fantastically funny scream. Ah! Right into it. Laughed my arse off for the best part of 5 minutes because of that. Great. Next, Sheamus defeated Alberto Del Rio to retain the World Heavyweight Championship in what was an okay match. Both men grapple over the top rope out of the ring to kick off this match. Good God. Kicks by Del Rio in the corner. Back in the ring. Neckbreaker by Sheamus. Cover for 2. High kick to the head by Del Rio. And I tell you now, it was sick. Irish cross countered as Del Rio goes to the top rope. And at this point, the worst thing possible happened. The stream cuts. I, for the first time, lost my stream that night. I don't know what happened between then and cutting back to see Del Rio hitting a clothesline from the top rope for 2. If anyone can fill me in, please tell me, because I don't know if it impacted on the match at all. Del Rio works the ground game by pressing Sheamus' head into the ropes and locks in a chokehold. Sheamus runs up the kitchen sink, stomps the headburn by Del Rio, covers, but then of course Sheamus will do kick out at 2. It's good to see Del Rio going for the head instead of the arm in this match. I'm really impressed, because usually he just goes after the arm for the cross arm breaker, you know? Del Rio taunts for a bro kick of his own, or whatever he was going to do. I have absolutely no idea. Sheamus hits out with a shoulder buster. Del Rio then throws him into the post shoulder first. Yeah, I was happy he was going for the head, then he goes for the arm. Typical Del Rio. Top rope arm breaker by Del Rio. On the hurt fucking shoulder. Top rope whoosh. Great stuff. Fantastic move. Covers for 2, believe it or not. Good God. Then that's enough for a cross arm breaker attempt. Sheamus counters it. Goes to the white noise. Del Rio counters that and locks it in. And believe it or not, the power of strength. It really is amazing what strength will do. Sheamus lifts the guy up, plants him with a bomb. Nice one. White noise by Sheamus, covers and gets 2. Bro kick is dodged by Del Rio. Sheamus hits the 10 beats to the chest and followed by 5 punches. And just a compound dominance, really, as Del Rio weasels out of it, whacks a massive enziguri. 1, 2, Sheamus kicks out again. Unbelievable. Del Rio then is so frustrated, he grabs Rodriguez. Sheamus, basically, Rodriguez gets trying to get thrown out of the ring. He chucks Del Rio his shoe. It goes over Del Rio and lands perfectly in Sheamus' hands. Shoot to the side of the head as the referee is distracted. Cole's going nuts at ringside. Irish curse backbreaker. 1, 2, 3. But of course, it wasn't all simple because Del Rio had his foot on the rope. But as that count was happening, Sheamus pushed it off there. The ref couldn't see it. Cole's going crazy. He's got a valid point that the match should be restarted because it technically shouldn't have been that way. However, the replay doesn't come, because I've seen this happen before, where the referee looks up at the Titantron, he sees the indiscrepancy done, and of course, it means a restart. Didn't happen here. Makes you wonder, wow, the referee should be doing his job there. And that's how it ended, a crazy little ending, and I honestly, actually, this is great, because it means there's another match, but it also means it made me give a shit about this at the end of it. It wasn't a clean victory for Sheamus. Good thing there, honestly. Next, Kofi Kingston and R-Truth defended the WWE Tag Team Championships against the Primetime Players. Looks like they weren't worth millions of dollars now, were they? Truth whacks Young down as a Kobe Bryant chant rings out. Okay, I heard he's with the team that's based there at the Staples Center, but still, nice one, Los Angeles, you know when to play the right chanting. O'Neal tags in, but Truth fights out. A takedown by O'Neal makes his presence felt automatically. Massive sidekick by Truth, though, after just amazing how big he can go for stretching that. Tags in Kofi, hits his clothesline and the boom drop. Lining up for the Trouble in Paradise, Darren Young, however, distracts him, allowing for O'Neal to get out of the ring. Young distracts Kofi, allowing for a clothesline by O'Neal. Cover for 2 in the ring. An inverted power slam by O'Neal gets 2. Young is in. Double gourd buster for 2 by the Primetime Players. The crowd chant for Kofi. Or is it Kobe they're chanting for? I don't know. Lord knows, this crowd really didn't give me much indication here. Where the fuck am I? Oh yeah. A lovely power slam into a side slam by Young for 2. It's what it looked like when it landed. If it's not, it's just a power slam. But still, Kofi rallies for the kicks, but O'Neal then of course, I meant O'Neal's tagged in at this point. He then locks in an abdominal stretch out of nowhere. Nice stuff. Spin out side slam from the abdominal stretch into a DDT by Kofi. Fantastic counter. Oh, where the fuck, I've lost my place again. Truth and Young then tag themselves in. Truth hits the lie detector on a Gorebuster Falcon Arrow for 2, as O'Neal breaks up the count. O'Neal goes after Kofi. Kofi then put outside... O'Neal goes after Kofi, but he's put outside the ring, followed by a crossbody on the outside. Hey! A roll-up by Young on Truth for 2! This thing was so close. Young goes for his epic gutbuster. But of course, Truth then just randomly hits a flatliner out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3. The champions retain, and I can tell Playlist Maker SG is going to hate it because Kofi is still tag team champion. Knowing you, that's obviously going to be true. CM Punk defeated Big Show and John Cena in a great triple threat match to retain the WWE Championship. Yeah, CM Punk won. Yes! And I will tell you now, I marked out heavily at the end of this because the right result was done. Anyway, let's go on with this. Cole mentions at the beginning of this match, as the bell rings, that Punk last main evented a pay-per-view during his reign at TLC. And it's nice to know, because I kind of forgot. Believe it or not, I forget. Shocker, really. But still, good to know that Cole can give us an interesting fact like that to show he has been overshadowed. Good on him. Show whacks both men down to show his dominance to kick off this thing. Cena CM Punk chants, but Show is still throwing them around like ragdolls. Massive chops on both men by Show. Cena lands in, the first punch is on him as Punk joins him. Double suplex attempt is countered by Show, and I was really thinking, what the fuck? That's nuts. Because I've seen people do double moves on Big Show before. The fact that Punk and Cena couldn't is a massive thing. Cena gets thrown out of the ring, leaving the champion Show in there. Kicks the knee by Punk to take the big man down, followed by kicks in the Mongolian chop. Goes for the GTS, but it doesn't happen. Cena then goes for AA, but Punk pushes him over, with Show landing right on Cena's head. Cover on Cena by Punk, but Show pulls him off. Show keeps Cena out of the ring to ensure Punk is beaten down some more. Punk counters a body splash, goes for the springboard clothesline, but he's then caught. Spinning side slam connects. Show goes for the WMD, but Cena stops him. Oh, I've lost my place again. And then he goes for a run, and he then stops him. Flips Show in, hits a spear! Holy shifactor! He gets hit by a spear off the Irish whip. Nice one. 1, 2, Cena kicks out. No big whoop. It's early going in this match so far. Show then takes both men into the corner, goes for a Vader splash, and I'm thinking, good God, this is going to be ridiculous. Punk gets out of the way, Cena gets the full force of it. Nice. Cover, but Punk breaks out with a nice springboard elbow. Once again, it's Punk and Show in the ring, but Show throws him out of there. Show then shifts his attention to Cena for the first time in this matchup. Hitting him down, Show then catches Punk off a suicide dive and throws him straight into the ropes. And apparently those ropes are really tightened, and I know they are because I've seen them up close. So that's gonna hurt, because those ropes are meant to. Good God. Cena fights out with punches, but walks into a side slam. Guillotine by Punk and a side slam by Cena. You can't see me. Goes for a 5-knuckle shuffle. Oh my God, Punk just decked him. Yeah. Right, ready for a 5-knuckle shuffle, and wham! In comes Punk to take Cena out. And apparently with shades from when Rock was taken out too, the similar clothesline. Cool continuity. Punk then goes for an elbow, connects it. Covers for 2 on the Big Show. Kicked the head by Punk, followed by a leg trap face lock. I don't know if he's obviously doing this because he can't get the Anaconda device on the Big Show. I don't know. But it was a great move to see. Show powers out of it. Cena then hits the shoulder block. Locked in the STF, but again, the Big Show is just too powerful for him to keep it on him for long. Cena's then caught in mid-air off a crossbody, and then Big Show hits him on a scoop slam as Punk hits a springboard clothesline. And honestly, Honestly, folks, I was thinking at this point, when the hell was the last time that Punk hit this move without it either missing or botching on pay-per-view? Can someone tell me? Because I want to know if that was the case. Punk then hits 3 running knees. Show pushes him away from the Bulldog. Leg drop by Cena. Punk again locks in the leg trap face lock as Cena then locks in the STF. Big Show taps. And we think it's all over, but of course, the situation is there, folks. Who has won this match? Cena or Punk? They both had moves on at the same time. I mean, I could say Punk had his submission on first, therefore he wins, but that's not how things go around here, obviously. AJ comes out. I did put a little smiley face down there because AJ smiles. I smile. Yeah, simple. I like AJ, enough said. And she basically just stands there, and whilst Punk berates her, the match is restarted. They turn round into a double chokeslam. We believe that Show has won this. 1, 2, Cena kicks out. 1, 2, Punk kicks out. Show lines at the WMD. Cena counters it, hits the AA. Punk throws him out of the ring, covers Big Show for the 1, 2, 3. Ingenious by a tweener Punk. Ingenious by a tweener Punk. And the crowd embrace him because he's now going on to a really long reign here. And you know what? It's the right thing. Punk deserved the victory. And the good thing is, Big Show dominated and still got pinned. Meaning, of course, we're probably going to get Cena Punk at Night of Champions, but I'm okay with that. Should be a good match. Great match overall, though. I'm going to get to the rating when I get to the end of the next matchup. Because, ladies and gentlemen, and I was wrong in thinking they put Brodus Clay, Damien Sandow on there. They didn't. Because they went straight to the main event. And now, actually, that was a problem. And I'll get to that when I'm done. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I said this was the result that needed to be done. And it came through. Because Brock Lesnar defeated Triple H in what was a no disqualification match, technically. Because Triple H said in the pre-show, I want us to fight. Do not allow any mercy in your rulings. Just let us fight. And Lesnar went right at Triple H from the get-go, but unlike Cena, Triple H fought back. Lesnar locks in the Kimura lock, but Triple H still fights at him. These guys are really mauling at each other here. Kimura lock is locked in on the ropes. Triple H sends Lesnar over the top rope. Backing quickly to shoulder thrusts and a high knee, and Triple H sends him out again. Lesnar takes his gloves off, and we know, ladies and gentlemen, the fight is now on. Lesnar whacks a mighty punch to the back of Triple H's head as they brawl near the announce table. One arm scoop slam by Lesnar, with the formerly broken arm being the one that lands on the table. Damn! This is good stuff. Great stuff. Where the fuck am I, though? Ah, yeah, nice touch, I say. Again, the arm is bent, pressing into the corner, using the ropes for help. Lesnar stomps the arm and locks in the arm lock again. F5 attempt by Triple H, then counters it. Lesnar, however, throws Trips into a massive German suplex. Fuck me, that looked painful. Again, Lesnar stomps the arm. Triple H fights up and hits a DDT. Lesnar is up and hits locks in the arm lock again. This is a mauling. This is brutal. Brutal stuff. Outside the ring, Lesnar throws the bad arm into the steel steps. And I'm in awe at this, because it's psychology fucking central. Triple H is then thrown into the Spanish announce table. Lesnar tips it over, stands on it, jumps off and hits a punch to the skull. Nice! Nice! Roll up for one back in the ring by Lesnar, and I'm amazed this is a 1 count at this point. Massive clothesline by Lesnar, and it looks like it doesn't fully connect properly, but it made a smack that made me shiver a bit. Good stuff. Lesnar goes for a suplex, but Triple H counters into one of his own. Lesnar misses the clothesline as Triple H goes for the pedigree, but sent flying to the outside. Drop toe hold sends Lesnar gut first into the corner of the announce table, and he is looking hurt, because we know Lesnar has had problems with his stomach and colon over the course of the last year or so. We know, if you know Lesnar enough, this is going to cause a problem. And he was selling like a boss, to tell you that. Where am I? Triple H then hits the stomach on the outside. Back in the ring, Lesnar goes for the Chimera lock, but Triple H fights out by hitting the stomach. Hits the kitchen sink on the stomach, followed by God knows how many knees, ramming the bloody thing in the stomach. And then he hits a spine buster as well. Good God. It's intense, I'll tell you that. Pedigree is then countered. F5 attempt then countered, and my stream cut at this point, but I can tell it was probably going to be a pedigree. 1, 2, Lesnar kicks out of it, and this is again, stream comes back in at this point. A low blow by Lesnar, the most ferocious low blow I've ever seen, because honestly, Triple H gets completely bundled over the shoulders of Lesnar. It's that bloody powerful. Good God. F5 though, straight after that, connects. 1, 2, Triple H kicks out. Good God, somehow. Chimera locked again, attempted, but it's attempted. He struggles, but it's locked in. There's no rope breaks, but Triple H punches the kidneys to break the hold. Triple H then hits the damn pedigree, but it's countered into the cut from the cover into the Chimera lock, and it's being held in. It's being held in. Triple H can't hold it anymore. It goes on for about a minute. He is literally going, and the minute that Lesnar wrenches his body upwards, Triple H taps. Yeah. Triple H tapped. Triple H lost clean to another guy? Can you believe what we have just witnessed? What I have just witnessed? What, if you haven't watched the pay-per-view, heard about here? Triple H lost clean to another guy! Hallelujah! Because you hardly ever see it. Lesnar walks out. As Triple H lies in the ring, selling the arm like an absolute boss. The crowd chant his name as Doctor walks in. Doctor's pushed away. The crowd do a turn on him a bit by saying, "You tapped out." And then the crowd boo him a bit. It then peters out, and then they realise what's going on here. Mutual respect then comes in. As Triple H walks up, he's saying he's sorry to so many fans. He's starting to cry as he walks out past the Curvetron. King and Cole say, in unison, agree with each other, that they feel they've seen the last of Triple H and that he's saying goodbye, as the screen fades to black. Is there any more of an epic conclusion than that to a pay-per-view? That's what Cena technically should have done at Extreme Rules, but yeah, you get the gist. This was greatly done, a great cliffhanger to finish the show on. Fantastic cliffhanger to finish the show on, because we want to just watch Raw now, see what happens. Fantastic way to make it much more important. Right, now I'm going to get on to the actual in-depth analysis of where the pros and cons lie for each match. Now, first off, Ziggler Jericho. There's back and forth offense between both men here, and I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see that Jericho got some offense, then Ziggler got some offense, then Jericho got some offense, then Ziggler got some offense. It went back and forth. I like that. There's great psychology by both men. The rib selling by Jericho and the working of it by Ziggler was really well done. I felt it really added to the match a bit. Many near falls made this unpredictable. Okay, sure, Ziggler did too many, but to be honest, you need a lot of near falls to build up the suspense of whether they can win or not. The match had a fast pace, which made the offense seamless in alternating, which was great, because like I said, you need a fast, quick match to get the crowd interested at the start of a show. They get it. And there was a very hot crowd for the opening contest. very important because they really wanted to see it. I'm happy they did. The negatives, however, and there are actually a few here. The fast pace made the match nice on the eyes, but I felt it was rushed. Okay, it was 13 minutes, but I still felt it was rushed at times. It felt like it went way quicker than it should have. And I know songs, if they're quicker than they are. So for 2112 by Rush, that can go just 20 minutes. If that goes quickly, it's a good song, you're enjoying yourself. I enjoyed it, but it felt like it was really rushing itself, and it didn't feel like it. Felt like it, but the time limit doesn't do it justice, does it? It really doesn't. Ziggler's offense, while it was impactful, still felt like he wouldn't get the job done. Because, honestly, every time he went for the one move, he went for a cover, and I thought, no, Ziggler, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have. It was stupid. You should have just gone for move after move after move and worked the mat game. Seriously. It would have been better for the telling of the story that way. I was expecting way more mat work, speaking of a ground offense. I was really expecting more. There was a couple of chokeholds and the lion tamer at the end, and that was it. I was really expecting more. Really. It compounded the rush nature of this matchup. There was not enough ground offense. And that's the great thing. A balanced match, a great match, needs the balance between quick, speedy striking, grappling, high flying, all that stuff. You need ground offense, and without it, it does not make well for the match. And also, while the ribs were worked, to me they were not worked on enough. They weren't sold enough. Sure, it was done well, but I needed a lot more. I needed it to be worked from start to finish to make this match even more intense in my eyes. It would have been better that way. And you know what? Those downfalls, those cons are big uns. Because I would have given this upwards of a 3-star if I needed. But I enjoyed the match for what it was worth. I'll give it 2 3/4 stars. How about that? Yeah, 2 3/4. Good way to kick the event off, I say. Daniel Bryan versus Kane. Now, the match was short and sweet, told the story it needed to. Simple as. It was just Bryan getting his just desserts on Kane. Simple. The right guy won, even though I got it wrong. Simple, that's a pro, isn't it? Bryan got into the crowd, into the mood, and just ran with what the crowd was saying. Really told the story of what he wanted to throughout it. And, yeah, made me insane to watch it, really. Despite the match being short, that still felt rushed. And again, first 2 matches still felt short because, again, there was hardly any ground offense. A couple of big grapples, some striking, not much else. There weren't really many big moments to shout about, apart from the way Bryan won, because it was unexpected, you know? I really was left underwhelmed by this, and I really shouldn't have felt underwhelmed by it. And you know what? It was very basic. It was like the Shane McMahon Big Show match at Judgment Day 2000, where not much happened. It was a good, fun match to watch while it was on, and it was a short one. So you know what? I'm going to give it the exact... I actually can't remember what I gave that. I think I gave it a half or a quarter. I'll give this 3/4 of a star, because I did enjoy it. I did enjoy seeing Bryan get in the mood of everything, and Kane proving he can beat the crap out of a guy for the majority of a match. And the way it finished, Bryan won in a very good heel way. Loved it. Also afterwards, actually, Kane going mental, throwing Josh Matthews into the backstage area, really helped, actually. That's where the match rounded off, because I gave that as part of it. Miz versus Mysterio. Now, there were some great moves here, especially by Miz. The head scissors counter into a rib breaker. I think I mentioned, if I didn't mention that, it was there, where head scissors countered on the shoulders, cracking the ribs. If I didn't mention that, I'm sorry. But it was great nonetheless. That counter segment towards the end was also fantastic. Miz had a lot of offense, which was fantastic for me because it made him feel strong. It made him feel like what a champion should feel like. He was getting the rub. He was doing what he really needed to make himself look legitimate. Nice. Both men's styles worked well together. Because I didn't think both these guys would work a match well. I really didn't. But they did. Miz and Mysterio worked well. It was a really well-flowing match. I thought that really played out for it. I haven't really got too much to complain about in the cons section for this. It was a solid match the crowd were into, but it obviously wasn't a big time match. The crowd, they were into it, but they weren't really into it. Okay, I can have that as a con. The crowd weren't really into this match. They liked what they were seeing. They just weren't really overly excited for it. Although there was a lack of psychology also to tell a story, because Miz dominated. Mysterio hardly got much in. If I was going to say, Mysterio's lack of offense is also a con. But that didn't really take away from it. It was entertaining to see The Miz do well. It was entertaining to see Mysterio not dominate a match. Even his comeback was muted. And that made me really enjoy it. I loved this match. I wanted to be nice. And I am going to be. Because I think this shows that Miz and Mysterio can still get it done in the ring. Miz can put on a good match with the right person. And I'll give it 3 stars. Because I'm being nice here, but again, I enjoyed this. I loved watching this match. Sheamus Del Rio, though. There was back and forth offense by both men, despite Del Rio having a lot of it, because what I saw, Sheamus was down on the mat a lot of the time. He didn't really get much offense at all. Unlike the match at Money in the Bank, this was paced well. It didn't slow down for the majority, which was great. The ending in itself really made this match stand out. I didn't expect it to do this, and it made Del Rio's challenge for another match legitimate, because now he can go to Booker T and say, look, my foot was on the ropes, you can do this. You can't deny me my destiny. The rest of it. My stream did cut out, so I didn't think I missed too much, though. That's not a con, but I put it in the column anyway. Sheamus again didn't sell the arm much, although it was targeted less than the Money in the Bank. When it was targeted, he hardly sold it at all. Del Rio didn't really get a reaction. Sheamus didn't get too big a one either. The crowd weren't really into this very much, apart from the end, because even though this was built better, the crowd was still a bit flat for it. And it did impact my enjoyment. Okay, this was a decent match. And because of that crowd draw, I think, okay, I'll knock it down a few. I'll give it 1 3/4 stars. Because, I mean, I was going to give this 2 stars. I'm going to edit my rating to make sure. I was going to give it 2 stars, and I thought, that's being way too generous for me. That's being way too generous. Because I wouldn't normally do that kind of thing. I would normally say, I'll allow for some leniency. But there isn't going to be any here today. No. Not at all. Not at all in the slightest. And my ear... sorry about that, guys. My tinnitus just flared up again. Anyway, next match. The Primetime Players versus Kingston and R-Truth. There's some good tag moves here. Primetime Players, actually, in their own wrestling moves, they had a lot of good stuff. I'd say they had a lot of variety of moves on stock. I was impressed by them, really. The match lasted a good while to allow the story that they've had over the last couple of months to tell themselves. It didn't go on longer than it should have, which made me happy. The crowd were at least a little interested, but then again, after what happened with AW, they would be in this match to see how they would go. The only real con I can give for this, and it's a big one because it really should have happened the other way, it's another case of heel dominance equals a no-win for them in a match. It's an annoying way for the champions to retain, because they got some, but not as much offense in comparison with their challenges. Annoying, but it happened, didn't it? It's annoying, it really is. And you know what? This match for me, enjoyable. Not the best tag match in the world, but technically it's the best one on pay-per-view this year, so I'll give it 1 1/4 stars. Basically, the Primetime Players in general gave me that extra quarter, because they did well. They did well without AW. Their moves spoke for themselves. Now here is where we get to the CM Punk, Big Show, John Cena triple threat. Now, Show dominated. And I have not seen him dominate a match that much in a while, and I was fresh to see it. Show's dominance, though, allowed for Cena and Punk to get their offense, and when they did, it meant something, and the crowd gave a shit. That was so good in building this match. It was so good in saying, well, look, Big Show can dominate, we can get some in, but obviously we're going to find it difficult. Made the crowd get behind the tweener and the face in this. Great thinking. Great booking. Cena and Big Show also... Cena and Punk sold Punk's... It's late. Cut me some slack here. Cena and Punk shows offense well. Good on him. Those chops, especially at the start of the match. Well done to them. The crowd were loving it from start to finish. Not many of the other matches had that. A great double submission dummy ending, because I didn't see that coming, and it was a great way to make Big Show look weak, but then reestablish himself again with a double chokeslam. It didn't take away from any of them. Great stuff. Punk winning, again, the right move. Great stuff, because honestly Punk needed the win, didn't he? He needed to win this damn thing to make himself legitimate. And the match lasted a good amount of time, allowing it to build well, making for the dummy ending to be surprising and fantastic in itself. Now, I couldn't think of too much to be negative about this match, but there were two things that made it really, really impressive for me, in terms of, there were two big cons that I really thought of, that really took this away from going any higher than this. One, barely any real mat work. And, okay, there were some great submission moves, but I really wanted to see some ground offense, or maybe some outside stuff. Maybe they could throw each other around the aisleway, steel steps, barricades, announce tables. I expected an extra dimension to be added. And that's one thing this match did lack. Sorry about that. An extra dimension to lift it more. Because I think it needed that. It really did. Just need an extra dimension. That's why outside interference in this match is good. And plus, I wouldn't have liked just all of them to be brawling each other in the ring, and, you know, just Big Show on his own in the ring with Punk. It works, but again, it's one of the only times it did. But it was just not the right thing to do still. Again, triple threat matches are not supposed to work that way. Oh, what was the other thing I had in my head? Oh, there was one thing I had, and I've just completely lost it. Oh, no, wait. I've already mentioned just the different level and the psychology. That was both together. Crap. That would have made it at least a 4 1/4, 4 1/2. Because I really enjoyed this. Back and forth, intelligent booking with the dummy ending, made you really care that the guys, the tweener and the face, were stopping the heel from really getting all over the place. It was the most different triple threat match I've seen for a while. And I really liked it. I really did. And I'm going to give it 4 stars. Now, you may be saying to me, what? Really? 4? You gave the triple threat between Kane, Bryan, and Punk barely anything. And again, that was completely different. This was at least a different match. I mean, I thought Big Show would slow the pace down. He didn't, which made it even better. So 4 stars is justified, folks. And then we get to the Triple H Brock Lesnar match. Now, a lot of people, some of you are obviously criticizing it, some are not. I'm going to go even between them. There was fantastic psychology. Brilliant psychology. The selling and working of that arm, first class. Lesnar's stomach selling and working only added to the epicness of that. Lesnar dominated for a lot of the match and run in the right way, with Triple H putting him over clean. When Triple H did get offense, it mattered. Because again, okay, in a triple threat match it matters more because you can see it, but when it comes to this, Triple H needed some offense, he got some. It wasn't a complete flatline dominance, much like Lesnar did to Cena. And yeah, putting him over clean, big thing. The leap off the table was a nice little spot. It wasn't as epic as a full-blown table spot, but it was still nice nonetheless. And there were actually, guys, a lot of cons here. It really was. There were a lot of cons I brought out for this match, because after the match ended and I had a chance to really sit down and mull it over, I really thought, this isn't as good as Cena Lesnar. It really isn't. Because there wasn't any blood like the Cena Lesnar match. We needed to take this match to another level. You needed blood, and I really thought there was going to be. But there wasn't. I thought, really? You give Cena blood, but you don't give Triple H blood. And he's the master of blading. The master of blade jobs. Seriously, look back at some of the matches he's done over the years. You will be surprised. And it needed that extra boost. The crowd were lacking, and there are 2 reasons for this. 1, there was no breather between the triple threat match and this. That's why Sandow Clay should have been done, because it was important. 10 minutes were left over from the show. You could have easily used 5 minutes to make Sandow beat the crap out of Clay and win the thing. The other was that the crowd realised this wasn't going to be a physical, weapons-filled brawl like the Cena match was. It was a methodical, psychology-based brawl. And the fans didn't get into it much. They were sucked out of it at the end by the middle part. Most of this match, they didn't care. At the end, they gave a shit when it started going all over the place. The match was also slower than I expected. I really didn't want this to be slower than I expected, but it was. And due to the impact it made the feel of the match feel a lot worse. And also, the final one, due to the nature of the psychology and the body parts targeted, the moves weren't the most diverse. And I'm really disappointed that they only went for the same old crap, but it's needed for that kind of match, honestly. And you know what? I was going to give this upwards of 3 3/4, maybe a 4, but then again, look at how many cons I have there. Look at how many cons. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give it a 3. 3 solid stars, because those cons add up. Those cons really do add up. And I'm honestly saying it right here, right now, folks. You would normally say I'm being a bit harsh, but I've never seen a match with lots of pros and lots of cons before on such even territory. So a 3-star is average. So I'll give it there. I'll give it the average rating. You know? Works out. And now, we get to my final thoughts here, folks. Because, obviously, I saw people on Facebook slagging this show off. And I'm wondering, why the hell are you doing that? Because I found this show very entertaining. Very good stuff. Okay, there were no zeros in the night. That was the first major big thing. No zeros make me immensely happy, because the first time this year that it's been done. And if not for Bryan Kane, all the matches would have been 1 star and up. And that has not been done on a pay-per-view for WWE for some time. So come on, give them the plaudits when it's due. The crowd was into it they were okay. They weren't the best crowd in the world. They were into the matches they were into. They lacked at other times. But the matches, though, did deliver. Obviously, I would have liked the Primetime Players and Ziggler to have won, but they got all the other results right. And that made me very, very happy. The pay-per-view did things right and had a lot of great matches. While it was lacking in great moments, however, that's the one thing. If this night had big, big moments that we could say, this is what SummerSlam 2012 is remembered for. Okay, we got Triple H ushering in his retirement, it looks like. But apart from that, we barely got anything. But you see, that's one side. The other side is the in-ring work. And to me, the in-ring work tonight shone. It was great stuff. We got 4-star and 2 3-star matches. A 2 3/4 star, a 1 1/4, and a 1 3/4. That's a good and also a 3 1/4, and also a 1/4 star too. That's a really balanced amount of rating there, people. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. In fact, I'll tell you now, it delivered on the in-ring content without a Divas or Squash match being needed to give a 0. It made this a standout pay-per-view in comparison with the rest. And in light of this, I give this pay-per-view, SummerSlam 2012, my highest rating of the year, 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this show, and honestly, Night of Champions is a lot to live up to, because I will tell you now, this is a good show, by all means. If you have issues with thinking, oh, it has to be moment-filled, to me, the in-ring quality is what matters. If the moments are there, that makes it even better. But for me, as a guy who likes in-ring wrestling, and was treated to some good stuff tonight, I'll give it 8 out of 10. It was a good night. And also, gotta give my plaudits to Fred Durst giving the middle finger and fuck PG. Although, I'm not really a guy who would support that kind of ideology, I'm at the again thinking that was hysterical. So that's another little extra to give the night some boost. Plus, the commentators weren't too bad either. Just to say, it was a good all night. A good night of wrestling. Again, another positive pay-per-view. Nice stuff. And guys, at the 50-minute mark almost, I'm going to end there. Hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I hope you look forward to my next load of videos, which will be the August Q&A next week. Put your Q&A questions in the message box up there. Or comment it down there if you want to. What are your views on the pay-per-view that you've heard me speak about or watched? Comment section down there, people. Also, add me on Skype, because again, we had a fantastic night on the brilliant Skype chat. And it went so well again, guys. Thank you so much, Ray, Mike, Richie, Rico. Guys, you had a fantastic night. Made it a success again. Good stuff. Also, because you can, click my blog down there. Blog and Facebook page. And yeah, also I was going to use Tout. I haven't used it yet. But I think I'm going to use Tout and my blog a lot when I'm at uni. Because, guys, this is a major thing. I'm not going to be doing Night of Champions. I'm not going to be reviewing it on YouTube. Because I won't be able to see it. That's a major factor. Because I'm going to university that weekend to start Freshers Week. Okay? So in all likelihood, I won't be able to watch Night of Champions. I'm going to have to catch it up some other time. I'm probably going to have to find a stream. So, until I get stuff sorted out in my accommodation, basically I'll have a blog review. See, that's my point. This is what I'm going to get to, folks. From the 20-something of September onwards, you're going to be seeing blog-only content from me. Because it's the reason why I've made a blog. Because if I can't do YouTube, I've got the blog there nonetheless. So, I wouldn't... if you don't see YouTube videos from me, it's because I can't. Because I don't want to be shouting in a confined space with a flat room that has 7 other people in it. That's not good. I don't want to do that. So yeah. Read my blog down there, bookmark it. Because if you want to see everything from mid to late September onwards, until I get back from uni or have a chance to make a video at some point, you are going to hear everything in that blog. So please, bookmark Cream Crazy's Wrestling Rant in the blog, because I will continue to put stuff up that I don't do videos for. If I don't want to do a video for something, I'll write it. That's how I do things. So guys, remember, bookmark the damn thing. But also, oh actually yeah, because if you like my Facebook page, you will get the blog posts sent to your wall. Good stuff. Also, I know you just heard me say I'm going to be doing blog posts in the future. That won't stop you clicking that subscribe button up there if you like these videos. Because I still have some more. For the August Q&A coming up, keep your questions coming in, guys. And also the Wrestling Rant week, where I do a video each day of the week in the first week of September. So yeah, you got a lot to look forward to, guys. Really, really am looking forward to that. And I'm going to sign off here, guys. It's 5:19 in the morning. It's nearly an hour long. You want to go somewhere. I want to go to bed. Let's see how this all goes. Guys, I've been Cream Crazy. You've been people watching. This is my SummerSlam 2012 review video. And I will see you for my Q&A this upcoming Sunday. Cheers, guys. Have a fantastic week. I hope it's a really good week, because the weather has been shit here. Hot weather is awful. Yeah, tell me otherwise, because I am not going to be happy with that. Anyway, see you guys. Have a fantastic week.